2024 was actually an interesting reading year for me, and that was because this girl is a lazy reader. But last year, I actually kept to my reading goals, and I was just so effing proud of myself. The reading experience was not funny because all the books I read last year, oh my god, the fiction I read last year was, I don't even want to go into it. This year, 2025, I want to keep reading. I want to keep reading. I want to read a lot this year. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing all the books I intend to read for the year 2025. That's basically my TBR. And I hope you enjoyed the video and you are inspired. Last year, my reading goal was basically to read 2 books monthly, one novel and a self-development book. And like I said, for the most part, I was doing that right. I read a lot last year, and that is the exact same thing I want to continue with this year. Although I don't know if it's sustainable this year because last year I had a lot of time. I was at home all throughout the year, so I had time. But now I'm working, I'm an intern, and I don't know how sustainable that is going to be. I honestly do not know. I mean, it's almost the ending of the month. January ends in 5 days, and I haven't even started reading. I don't know, but somehow, Sha, I'm going to read this year. I have 12 months in a year, which means I intend to read 12 novels this year. I know it's too small. I know it's too small. I know it's too small. All these booktubers, they will not oppress me. Like, you cannot oppress me. I don't even want to put any pressure on myself. I don't intend to do that because people's lives differ, right? I have to set goals I know that I'm going to keep. So 12 is too small. I know 12 is too small, but it's something. Yeah, the first novel I plan to read this year is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This book has been on my TBR for quite a long time. In fact, throughout 2024, it was on my TBR. I just could not get into it, and I think that was because of ratings of the book on Goodreads. After my experience last year with reading top rated and highly rated books, I don't know, I just have this phobia for popular books because I end up not liking them. But this book has been on my TBR, and I just want to read it. I know I'm taking a very risky risk, but I just want to try again. Second book I intend to read this year would be Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book has also been on my TBR. See, every book I'm going to be mentioning in this video has probably been on my TBR for the longest time. So I don't keep saying that this book has been on my TBR because almost every book has been on my TBR. But like I said, we are building reading discipline, right? So I intend to actually read this book and stick with them because most of these books I usually read and stop at chapter 3 and pick another book. No, we're not doing that this year. This year I'm going to be much more disciplined. I'm going to stay on a book and finish it unless the book genuinely is not making sense, unless the book is trash. I'm going to drop it. I'm not going to do that whole thing of I want to make sure that I read this book to the end just so that I can say that it's on my read list. No, if a book is boring, I'm going to read it. But if the book is genuinely interesting, of course, I'm going to carry on. So yeah, the third book I'm going to be reading this year is Heartbreak Warfare by Heather Oregon and Kristen Stewart. As usual, this book has been sleeping on my TBR for the longest time, but I'll finally be reading it this year. The book actually looks promising. It's a very promising book, and I have no doubts that this book is going to make me proud. I have no doubts. Yeah. Another book I'll be reading this year is Bright Side by Kim Holden. Kim Holden is that woman is a good author. She is that author for me. I've read one of her books, So Much More. I think that was during lockdown, and that book almost brought me to tears. You know that kind of thing where you finish reading a book, you don't actually remember the details, but you remember the way that book made you feel. So much more was that book for me. Like, Kim writes emotions, and I know that she's going to wreck me with this book. The only problem I had with this book, with this Bright Side, is that it's young adult, and I don't like young adult books because I don't know, I just feel like the things they do in the book, I feel like it's too adulty for me. Like it's not young adulting, it is adulting. So I always wonder, like, why would these young people be doing things like adults? Why not just make them adult characters? I don't know if that makes sense. And again, I feel like it comes with age. The more you get older, the more you see some things as, will I say, childish. I don't know. Like, I mean, when I was in secondary school, I enjoy all these high school movies, but as I got into my 20s, and I just lost interest in those kind of books. But however, I'm trying to like reprogram my mind to just try these books, keep trying these books, because I mean, as long as the book is interesting, no matter the age of the characters, I think yeah, I said I was going to try it, right? So that is what I'm going to do with this book. Absolutely have no doubts that Kim is going to deliver. She writes good stories, and I hope this book is that book for me. The next book I'll be reading would be Don't Let Her Stay by Nicole Sanders. This book is in the thriller and mystery genre, something like that. Is from the synopsis, it's a book, it's a thriller book, it's a mystery book, and yeah, I just wanted to try that because for me it's romance any day, anytime. But I'm going to spice it up a bit. So I'll be reading this book and I hope it's okay. The next book I intend to read would be Roomies by Christina Lauren. I've read a Christina Lauren book before and I enjoyed it, and I feel like this book is going to be that book for me as well. I really hope it meets the expectation I already have of it in my head. Christina Lauren is a good writer for the most part. Although some people don't like her books, but the one I have read, I enjoyed that. I hope this one is going to be that book for me as well. The next book I'm going to read this year for 2025 is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. Mariana Zapata is an absolutely good writer. I have read one of her books called Tea. Don't know if I'm pronouncing it well, but I've read it before and I actually enjoyed the book. Most people don't like Mariana Zapata because her books are slow burn. So if you have no patience, I don't think her book is going to do that for you. I remember recommending this book for a friend one time, and then when she finished reading it, she was like, Jesus Christ, this book took like forever. It's an interesting story, yes, but it took like forever. And yeah, that's how slow burn books are. They drag and drag for a long time, and that's what Mariana Zapata writes. I know I'm going to enjoy it, so I really have no doubts. She's going to deliver. Mariana is going to deliver. Then the last two books I plan to read for 2025, they are not books, it's actually a series, two series. The first one is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've been seeing this book all over the place. I don't know. The author seems to be a very good author. Although I don't trust popular reviewed books, like popular rated books, I don't trust it, but I don't know why I feel like I'm going to like this one. So yeah, I'm going to be reading the series. The second series I'll be reading will be the Windy series by Liz Tomford. I tried reading one of the books, that's the book two, if I'm not mistaken, The Right Move, but I had to back up a bit. I want to actually read the first book first and then read the rest of the series. So, yeah, these are the books I intend to read for 2025. That's my TBR for 2025. My hopes are not so high, but I know that it's going to be way better than my experience last year because last year was not funny. I know at least majority of these books, more than half will be okay. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Now, this my TBR is not set on stone. As the year goes by, I might remove some books and read other books. I might read every book I've mentioned here. I might not read any of them at all and read different. It's not just set on stone, but a plan is a plan, right? It's good to have a plan, and this is my plan. So, yeah, that's every book I plan to read this year. I can't wait to come here and review these books because that would be what I will be doing. That's all for what I plan to read this year. So, have you read any of these books? If you've read any of them, please keep put your reviews in the comment section. Tell me the books you are reading in the comment section. How is it going? We could body read, who knows? Put it down in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one.